Hi guys, welcome. Today we're going to look at winter sowing some poppy seeds, some Love-in-a-Mist Jekyll mix, and also starting some Snapdragons, which I will grow indoors until the time to plant them out. The poppies and the Love-in-a-Mist all need to be cold stratified, and I've seen where people have sown these on top of snow before and let them come up in the spring. So I'm going to try something similar, see if it'll work. So it's an experiment. I have no idea. I've never grown poppies before. But I'm hoping this will work and we'll have some beautiful flowers come spring. What we're going to work with is a California poppy, a red California poppy, a white linen California poppy, and a Shirley double mix poppy. This one's surface sown. The others are 1/8 inch deep planted. They run between 12 and 18 inches tall, so they should be really, really pretty. The Love-in-a-Mist is a beautiful flower. It needs to be planted at 1/8 of an inch deep, and it also has to be cold stratified. So I'm going to go ahead and get these out here on the patio so they have the cold air that's coming over the next couple of months. Also going to start some Snapdragons, which I will bring indoors just to germinate. But they need to start 12 weeks before the last frost, which my last frost here is usually the end of April. So we'll get started. What I have here are 3 rectangular planters that I have filled with regular potting mix, not seed starting mix. I need that heavier density of the mix of the potting soil. So I will leave those out here. It is early February. I will leave them out here to cold stratify, and hopefully come March or April that we'll actually start seeing some germination. Since 3 of the types I want to plant need to go 1/8 of an inch deep, and I want to mix them around here, I'm going to go ahead and plant those 3 types first, and then I'm going to come back with the Shirley double mix that needs to be planted on the surface. Okay? So just go ahead and start doing that. And the seeds are little tiny balls, so just sprinkle them around. And I am going to plant fairly densely because I don't know if this is going to work at all. And what I can do, if I do get too many that come up, is just pull them out. Okay. The red ones. And then the white ones. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of mix them into the soil just a little bit, because I only need to go a little bit, and they're just 1/8 of an inch deep. Just mix it up just a little bit. Make sure they have good contact with the soil. Now, the last one we're going to do is the Shirley double mix poppy, which is cold stratify and surface sow. Those are itty bitty. Sprinkle them around. Pat them in. These I don't want to bury, but I do want to make sure that they are secure into the soil. Okay, so I'll get these onto the patio and we'll water them shortly. For the Miss Jekyll Love-in-a-Mist, we're going to go ahead and plant that in these 2 grow bags. It says it can be sown in the late winter to early spring. So I'm going to try to do part of it now and then part of it also come April. It says it's planted about 1/8 of an inch deep, and it is frost hardy. So go ahead and get some of them out. And we'll save some for April. And I'm just going to sprinkle them around. Again, this is a complete experiment, just like the poppies. I've not done it this way. So we'll see if it works. I'm just going to rock up the soil just a little bit just to get them underneath. And this also is just regular potting mix. Okay, so we'll get that watered in and leave that out here on the patio as well. The last thing we'll be planting today is the dwarf mixed Snapdragons from Poppies. Says to barely press in, space 6 inches. So I'm using a self-watering seed tray. It has a plastic stand in the bottom to keep the pots raised. Has a wicking mat on top of it, which just tucks down in. It will draw up the water, and then the seed cells can absorb it through the wicking mat. So let's see, barely pressing. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to start the whole tray. I'm just going to sprinkle them about, and then I'm going to tap them down. And once they grow, once they've germinated and started to get some true leaves, then I'll be able to separate them out into their own containers. And then I'll have plenty of snapdragons. One thing I do like about the grow bags is that if you don't need the entire height of it, you can roll them down. So where I only fill these to about 2/3 of the way, I rolled the edges down so that there's more sun that's able to get into the dirt level. We'll just go ahead and get these watered in as well. This is very dry potting soil, so I'm going to give it a good dousing. Hey guys, so it's a few days later. To wrap up this video, we're going to go ahead and do some fruit tree maintenance. One of the things that you should do in the off season for the northern hemisphere, that's going to be to spray your trees 3 times, usually between November and February. So you would do it after the leaves fall in November, then again in January, and then again in February. So we're on our 3rd application. The 3rd application is by far the most important one, but if you can hit the other ones, that's really good. We're going to spray apple trees, peach trees, probably the blueberries, and the raspberries. So what we're going to use first is the all-season horticultural endormant oil spray. Or what we're going to use is the all-season horticultural endormant spray oil. We're going to mix this with water along with our copper fungicide. This will cover all of any overwintering eggs from pests, so it'll reduce the pest population come spring when everything starts budding out. So this will help reduce the spider mites, scale, aphids, and all other kinds of insects that might have eggs laid on the tree branches. We're also going to use copper fungicide. And what this does is take care of a lot of diseases such as powdery mildew, downy mildew, black spot, blight, and other fungus issues. So we're going to go ahead and get this mixed up. So the first thing you want to do is to go ahead and get some gloves on, and long sleeves are a good idea too. You want to make sure that you do not get this on your skin or breathe it in, because it is hazardous to anything biologically based. So I have a cup here with the fluid ounce markings, and what I'm going to do is for the all-season horticultural oil is I'm going to do 2.5 ounces U.S. fluid ounces to 1 gallon of water. Go ahead and mix that. Measure out 2.5 ounces. Okay. And then I'm going to pour that into the container. Now, since I'm using this type of sprayer, I'm going to go ahead and mix both of them together. Mix it up. And then I'm going to do 2 ounces to the 1 gallon of water. Okay. Pour that in there. And you want to make sure after you've sprayed the trees, make sure there's no children or pets around, because you don't want them to get this on their skin or fur coats or anything like that. And then you want to dispose of this in a safe manner. So go ahead and close this up, and then I'm going to fill this container with water. Shake it up a little bit, and then we'll pump it up and start. So what we're going to do is spray the entire tree. We're going to spray the entire trunk, all along the branches, both underneath and above, and just go from top to bottom. And you want to drench it fairly well to the point that the tree is actually dripping. So we're just going to get started. So the 4 apple trees I have here are actually columnar apple trees. I didn't know such a thing existed, but they will actually only get about 2 to 3 feet wide, about 8 to 10 feet tall. The apples actually grow right against the trunk, so you'll get bunches of apples, and apparently they're very prolific producers, but the apples form right next to the trunk. Thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully this video gave you some inspiration for what you might try winter sowing this year. It is a new project I have not done before, so I'm excited to see what will happen. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And join me in the next video. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.